Watch me hit the Nebraska rail, find out how first responders dealt with the fire. And we're asking Wyomingites who their favorites are this Super Bowl season. See what they had to say. And there was another airplane emergency incident. Find out who was forced to land and why. All of this coming up next.
WYOMING News Now starts now.
Thank you for watching WYOMING News Now. I'm Valeria Fugate. Today, emergency crews are monitoring the flames as 2 Union Pacific trains derailed in the Nebraska main line, resulting in a fire at 5:50 a.m. this morning. Several fire departments responded in Dix, Nebraska, about 30 miles from the Wyoming state line. The second incident happened about 3 hours later and 150 miles away at the Airport Road and east of North Platte near U.S. Route 30. It knocked out power in western Cheyenne County and eastern Kimball County. There were no injuries reported. The Kimball County Sheriff's Office is now asking the public to stay away from this area. And with that, let's toss it over to our meteorologist, Ashley Morgan, for a look at our weather.
And good evening. Well, not too bad of a day today. It was a little bit cooler, a little bit of a breeze out there. But as we take a look at our forecast for this evening and into tonight, not looking too bad. We're looking at clear to partly cloudy skies, and even in towards our Monday morning, we'll see some of those clear skies in the mix. Watching a chance for a couple mountain snow showers north and west into Wyoming, around Sheridan or so into Jackson. That should stay out of our immediate area around Casper and Cheyenne. We'll be watching, though, for maybe a light snow shower or two late Monday and into early Tuesday into Cheyenne, but shouldn't cause us too many issues. Heading into tonight, we'll see some clouds, another cold one with a low of 12 degrees in the capital city. Into Monday, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 27 degrees in Cheyenne. And into Casper, clear skies and cold, low of 7 tonight. And into our Monday, we'll see cloudy skies with a high of 16 degrees. I'll have more on what you can expect in just a little bit.
And as it's Super Bowl Sunday, sports reporter Casey Clark-Malott has more on the history of the big game and its ties to Wyoming.
Thank you, Valeria. While this year there is no Wyoming representation at Super Bowl 59, there have been 10 Wyomingites to appear in the big game. Several Wyoming natives played in the first couple big games. Jerry Hill from Torrington lost Super Bowl III, but won 2 years later. Gail Cogdill of Worland lost to Hill in Super Bowl III. Boyd Dowler from Rock Springs and Cheyenne won the first 2 Super Bowls. Doug Miller from Cheyenne played for the San Diego Chargers in 1995. John Burrow of Laramie and Pinedale played in Super Bowl 33. Adam Archuleta of Rock Springs lost to the Patriots in Super Bowl 36. Brady Papinga from Evanston was on the injury reserve for the Packers in the 2011 game. And Craig Kiesel of Grable played in 3 Super Bowls in 2006, 2009, and 2011. Zane Beatles from Casper appeared in Super Bowl 48 for the Denver Broncos. And lastly, Logan Wilson from Casper played in Super Bowl 56 in 2022. Now, the Super Bowl is one of the most watched events of the year, and even if you don't seem to care about American football or sports in general, it's hard to not have pride for the Wyomingites on the biggest stage. I'll have more on this game later. Now back to you, Valeria.
All right, thanks, Casey. As the Super Bowl continues to battle it out, the Kansas City Chiefs are vying to make history, and the Philadelphia Eagles are hunting for revenge. So our news team wanted to know where Wyoming's loyalties lie in this big game, so we sent out our Matt Entrekin downtown to find out.
Well, Super Bowl 59 is nearly here. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. But I wanted to know, who's Wyoming rooting for? That's why I came here to Sanford's Grub and Pub to ask the locals who they want to win the big game. So let's get started. All right, with me now I have my friend James. James, who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 59, Chiefs or Eagles?
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles, Eagles, Eagles.
All right, I like it. And why are you rooting for the Eagles?
Because I'm a Bronco fan, I can't stand the Chiefs.
That's what I like to hear. All right, moving on. Coming up next, we have my friend Adelina. Adelina, who are you rooting for in the big game?
I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, and why?
Because of Patrick Mahomes.
You love Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, I'll take it, I guess. All right, so it's 1-1 right now. Now on to my friend Peter. Peter, who are you rooting for?
Well, I'm torn because my twin brother is an Eagles fan, and I want to see the Chiefs make history. So,
tough decision. Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be if I have to say? I'm probably going to say the Chiefs.
All right, that's two for the Chiefs,
But I do have hope for an Eagles upset.
All right, so who do you want to win? Who's got the final call?
Who's got the final call? I'm going to say Chiefs.
All right, Chiefs take a lead. Of course they do. 2-1 now. Here we go. All right, coming back down here to the bar, we have Babe. Babe, who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 59?
I think the Eagles, just because I think someone else deserves to win besides the Chiefs.
All right, we got another one for the Eagles and Addison.
I'm with the Eagles as well.
Eagles, okay. Eagles are coming back here. 3-2. Here we go. Oh, we got to go the other way. I'm blocked off. Okay, so it's tight. The Eagles have a slim 3-2 lead. Can they hold it in the fourth? Okay, guys. The Eagles have 3 votes. The Chiefs have 2. Who are you rooting for in the big game? Patricia, who's it going to be?
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Eagles.
The Eagles. Well, there you have it, guys. Wyoming wants the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Will they do it? Find out on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Mac. Continuing with our Wyoming legislative coverage, both the House and the Senate were on their 3rd reading of the state's supplemental budget this week.
Headwinds, yes, we've got a few, and they're out there, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in negotiations. But right now I'm confident that we can get a good budget team. Our leadership team has worked hard to put us in a position to have a good budget, and hopefully we'll get one.
Lawmakers are still expecting to see some amendments to the bill, as well as backfilling fire expenditures and the external costs adjustments. The Senate Appropriations also looked at illegal immigration, identify, report, detain, and deport bill. Among other things, it would establish penalties of the transportation, concealment, or hiring of undocumented immigrants, and require verification of citizenship and confirmation of immigration status of inmates. It also requires proof of citizenship for driver's license and ID cards, but as with any hot-button topic, this bill is not popular with everyone.
It's a terribly written bill, and it's a bill that has wide-reaching implications for every member or every citizen in our state to be able to be pulled over indiscriminately and be asked for your papers. You know, this isn't Germany. This isn't Europe in the 30s. This is America, and it's a terrible bill.
Proponents say the bill combats criminality and gang violence, but critics say it's about political optics and racial profiling and does nothing to remove the 600,000 illegal Europeans in the U.S. The amended bill now moves forward to the floor. And now looking ahead to next week, the Cheyenne City Council will discuss a controversial downtown parking ordinance tomorrow. Reporter Grace Swanke has more on possible outcomes of the switch to paid parking.
A new paid parking system is set to go into effect this summer in downtown Cheyenne, but it's a plan that doesn't come without controversy. So I spoke to some council members as well as local businesses to learn a little bit more about their thoughts.
Well, as long as there's been downtown parking, there's been controversy.
Within downtown Cheyenne, the old parking system allowed for 2 hours of free parking. Anything over that time would require drivers to move a new block or else they'd get fined a $20 ticket. With the new system, you would still get 2 hours of free parking, but once that expired, you could extend your time by paying a fee through an app. But some business owners, like Corey, the co-owner of the Downtowner in Paris West, aren't buying into the idea.
Business downtown is fragile, and it's hard to get street traffic. It's hard to get people to come downtown, and every customer is hard fought.
Dr. Michelle Aldrich is the council member spearheading the movement to repeal the new system. She tells me she feels it was a decision about the people made without the people, and that feels wrong. Meanwhile, Councilman Seagrave says this started after downtown businesses began asking for a change.
We all thought that was a pretty good deal. The Business Alliance thought that was a good deal, and as soon as we implemented it, a different group of downtown businesses didn't think it was a good deal.
Dr. Aldrich hopes to go back to the old system while they take some time to create a new plan, as well as continuing to make the parking garage safer and more user-friendly.
I'm in support of the new system. I think it's worth a try. We spent a lot of time, over 2 years, working on this. But if it's defeated and recalled, then I'm hopeful that we just go totally free.
And by totally free, Seagrave says that he is proposing an amendment to eliminate all parking restrictions, both the 2-hour limitation and payment.
I have no idea if this will pass, but I think it's worth talking about.
As for Corey, she tells me that she and other local businesses want a thriving downtown, but don't feel that parking is one of the issues.
We've sunk millions of dollars down here, invested our lives down here, and it's really important that we feel like we have a voice and they listen to our voice.
Both council members and local business owners also fear that the older population could struggle with learning the new app. Reporting from Cheyenne because local matters, I'm Grace Swanky, Wyoming News Now.
And our news team will be out on Monday night's meeting, and we'll let you know how it turns out. All right, we've got more weather, sports, and nationals coming up after the break, so come on back. Hey, I just unloaded D4 and 5, the consumer financial. So that should give us decent time, but let me know. Okay.
And good evening. Overall, not a bad day across the area today. And it's going to be cold, though, as we head on into tonight. Looking at a low of 12 degrees. We'll see some clouds mixing on in at times, but otherwise not looking too bad out there. And a look at our forecast heading on into our Monday into Cheyenne. We'll see some mostly cloudy skies, high of 27 degrees. And in Casper, while we might see a cloud or two drift through, we'll be looking at mostly clear skies for tonight in Casper. Low of 7 degrees with Casper seeing cloudy skies into our Monday, high of 16 degrees. Let's take a look at those high temperatures around the area for our Monday. 23 in Torrington, 24 in Scottsbluff, and 23 into Wheatland into the southeast region. Into central Wyoming, we're looking at a high of 17 in Riverton, 12 in Thermopolis, and 11 in Worland, with temperatures around the area, 28 in Rawlins and 26 in Laramie. Let's take a look here. We are watching some cold air, even colder air that'll be making its way from Canada. We'll see more of this northerly to northerly flow moving on through. And with that, we'll be stuck with some cold air for just a couple of days. But the good news is it's not going to last, and it's not going to be as cold as we have gotten so far this winter. We just got to bring out those winter coats once again. I know we've been getting used to wearing some hoodies, but it's going to be enough. We're going to need those winter coats. And a look at that futurecast, we will see those clear conditions continuing, maybe watching some snow showers possible into some of northern and western Wyoming, especially in those higher elevations. That'll try to drift to the southeast, and we might see a little bit of some light snow at times heading into Monday night and into Tuesday into Cheyenne. But as we head into Tuesday, we're looking at a little more cloud cover in the mix across much of our region today, so not expecting much sunshine as we advance into the next couple of days. And a look at our extended forecast into Cheyenne, we will see mostly cloudy skies for much of our Monday. 27 degrees, even more cloudier in heading into Tuesday with a high of 16, and it gets even colder in the Wednesday. But those morning lows are going to be on the cool side as we're going to be near zero around that time period. And into Casper, we will see overcast skies heading into the start of the week. Temperature of only 15 degrees for a high. Even colder heading into Tuesday morning with that morning low of 3 below zero. And the good news is we do gradually start to warm on up. It's going to be just a little bit of a slow process, though, as we finally end the week with temperatures into the 40s. But those winds, of course, have to return into our forecast. But it does look like overall it is going to be, yet again, another relatively dry week. With Scottsbluff seeing a high of 25 degrees heading into our Monday. Temperatures will be into the 20s, though, throughout the next couple of days as well. Overall, not seeing much sunshine until we hit Thursday. It does look like, though, we'll be a relatively dry week, other than just a minimal chance of a few snow showers. I have 36, though, as we head into Thursday. It's going to be pretty nice with temperatures into the 40s as we close out the work week.
Hello and welcome to Wyoming News Now Sports. I am Casey Clark-Malott and happy Super Bowl Sunday. As reporter Matt Entrikin showed earlier, some locals in Cheyenne favored the Eagles, but we asked this morning on our Facebook page who you wanted to see win today in the Super Bowl. There was 87 votes favoring the Philadelphia Eagles. The Kansas City Chiefs trailed heavily in support with only 35 votes. However, some other votes cast in this poll was including the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell, the food, which we'll talk about later tonight, and of course, the commercials. Now a quick look in on the game as it's going on as I speak. The Chiefs are looking for their first ever NFL three-peat, but about halfway through the second quarter, the Eagles are leading 17-0. The Eagles started the game driving down the field, but an offensive pass interference call halted that drive. The Chiefs' offense has only managed 1 first down so far, and not much else. Philly's second drive had a 28-yard completion to Jahan Dotson to the 1-yard line, setting up a tush-push or brotherly shove for Jalen Hurts to put the Eagles up. The Eagles did just get a pick six also from rookie cornerback Cooper DeJean. Now, while there's a lot going on the professional world of sports, let's take a look at some prep athletics from this weekend and the standouts there. Starting with track and field up in Gillette, First East's Maggie Madsen continues to dominate, winning the 800 and 1600 meter runs, and Natrona's girls and boys teams performed well, taking 4th for the girls and 3rd for the boys. The Mustangs and Fillies were led by Sage Gustafson, Ashley Gross, Carson Lundberg, Champ Ranson, Zaven Thomas, and Kaven Hoff. And last, a congratulations to the Laramie boys swim and dive as they win the 4A East Conference meet with the state championships coming up in 2 weeks. Now that's all for Sports Now. Check back later tonight for more on the Super Bowl and more. Until then.
Welcome back. A Southwest airline flight headed for Sacramento to Denver was forced to turn around shortly after takeoff due to possible engine failures. Peyton Headley speaks with one of the passengers about her experience.
Everything seemed normal.
Christine Buff's travel day out of the Sacramento International Airport started out normal Saturday morning. She boarded her first Southwest Airlines flight to Denver as she headed to Raleigh to see her daughter and 3 grandchildren.
The pilot came on as we're sitting on the runway and said that we were cleared for takeoff.
It was at that point, she says, she noticed something was off.
I smelled something weird. I mean, it wasn't like fresh air or anything. It smelled more like burning wires. As we're on the runway going super fast, as you normally are for takeoff, that's when it went super loud, boom.
Buff and another passenger we spoke with said they saw what they thought was fire coming out of one of the engines.
But at that point, this is it. We're going down and we're going to die.
Within 20 minutes of takeoff, Buff says the pilot announced they were turning back to Sacramento so mechanics could take a look at the engine.
It's like, what do you do? There's nothing you can do. You're, a couple miles up in the air already? All I could think about was the plane that crashed into the helicopter. That's all I could think about this whole time when I heard that noise.
In a statement, Southwest Airlines said the flight made a non-emergency return to Sacramento International Airport to evaluate a possible engine issue. The aircraft landed uneventfully and taxied to the terminal, where customers were accommodated aboard another aircraft to Denver. When we asked about the engine issue, Southwest told KCRA3 there was nothing notable to report.
I just can't believe that this happened.
Buff made it to Denver, but missed her connection to Raleigh. Now she's considering other options to get to her family.
If I could rent a car and drive, I would, because I'm scared.
The U.S. government's headquarters for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is closing down this week. Bureau employees were abruptly informed this afternoon that the Washington, D.C. watchdog agencies will not be open this week. Workers and contractors were instructed to work remotely. No reason was stated for the sudden closure. But the move comes days after Elon Musk tweeted out CFPB RIP with a tombstone emoji. The Bureau did not respond to CNN's request for comment. All right, don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up after the break, so grab a snack and come on back. So we will unfloat the Super Bowl story. We'll float the Listeria story. And then if we want to come back to me, I'll say goodbyes. Oops, that crunched not so good. And that should eat up the 15 seconds. Okay.
And taking one final look at our forecast into Cheyenne. We're not looking at much sunshine for at least the work week. Looking at mostly cloudy to cloudy skies and temperatures on the cold side. We'll be at 27 into Monday, and then we return back into the teens for our daytime highs, both Tuesday and Wednesday. Those morning lows won't be any better. We'll see morning lows near zeros. You're going to want to bring that winter coat back out. I know we got used to wearing some hoodies and jackets, but we're going to bring those winter coats back out once again. In Casper, we will see cold, cloudy skies through the first half of the week. Temperatures on the cold side, around 15 into Monday, even colder into Tuesday as well, especially more of those morning lows with temperatures below zero into Tuesday morning.
And if you're planning on taking Monday off because of the Super Bowl, you'll have a lot of company. USA Today is reporting that on a new poll that they found out that more than 22.5 million people across the U.S. plan to miss work. Researchers also found that 2% plan to call in sick, while another 2% said they plan to ghost their employees and just not show up. The poll estimates nearly 13 million will take a pre-approved day off, with 14.8 million shifting and swapping with coworkers to not have to come in on Monday. That's our show. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the game. Enjoy your snacks, and we'll see you back here at 10. Good night.